Hunter, good morning. What are you tracking for us?
Good morning, Annalise. It's a cold start. Don't get me wrong. As you step out the door, we're hovering in the 30s for everybody, even some of us at freezing. Right now, looking south on Highway 52, nice sunrise there, but we're right at 39 degrees, at least at the airport here in Rochester. 29 for our dew points, so that dry air still hanging around. And with calm winds and clear skies overnight, it allowed us to drop down at freezing for both New Hampton and Forest City. Zumbrota now increasing to around 36 degrees. Charles City as well. Winona too at that mark. 38 though in Northwood. Now for today, at least this morning, you'll need those winter coats because we're hovering in those 30s. But heading into right around lunchtime, 59 degrees on our way to a high right around the mid-60s today. Now, as we go throughout this week, we will be warming up, going for those mid-70s by around Wednesday. If you have any plans to rake up the leaves after a very windy weekend, it's going to be perfect. We really don't have much in the way of strong winds in the forecast until we get into the back half of the week as high pressure starts to move in out of the west. Big ridge of high pressure moves in here by Friday, where we could be approaching 80 degrees for a high temperature. But don't worry, it doesn't last all too long, because by the time we get to the weekend, the jet stream gets a little bit more curvy. We get a big dip in the eastern United States. What that means for us, well, we get those north to northwest winds strong through our region as we head throughout the weekend and into next week. That'll give us a big change in our temperatures. We'll be going down to the low 60s potentially, maybe by Sunday. But turning to the tropics, we are looking at what is a major hurricane right now in the Gulf of Mexico, not impacting us whatsoever. But why am I talking about it? It's because if you know anybody, possibly in Tampa Bay or in Fort Myers on the western Gulf Coast of Florida, let them know this storm is coming. It is forecast to make landfall as a major hurricane, the second in a matter of 2 weeks. So it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Make sure they are evacuating here very soon as that storm will be making landfall. Already seeing hurricane watches out there in Florida. As for the next 7 days, well, it's going to be warming up here. We're going for the 80s by Friday. No chances for rain whatsoever over the next 7 days before we start tipping down into the low 60s by Sunday. My big concern, Annalise, is the drought. I mean, it's still going to be getting worse here over the next week or so with how warm it's going to be.
Nothing in sight?
Nothing whatsoever. I mean, we could maybe have a chance for rain the weekend, but right now it's a little thing that we're really not all too concerned about right now.
All right, well, thanks for that update, Hunter.